Today we're diving into an absolutely incredible feat of engineering. We're talking about a project that literally moved a river underneath the world's busiest shipping lane, all to bring a desert back to life. This is the amazing story of the Sarabium Siphon.
You know, this quote really hits home because it captures a reality that lasted for decades. The Sinai Peninsula, this huge, strategically vital piece of land, was basically stuck in time. All of its potential was just locked away, almost forgotten, because it was missing the one thing you need for any civilization to really thrive.
And that one thing? It was water. The problem holding back the entire region was brutally simple. There was no water. And without it, any kind of real development was completely stalled.
And that created this devastating domino effect. I mean, think about it. With no water, you can't grow anything. If you can't grow anything, you can't build industries. And with no jobs, people can't build stable communities, so they're forced to leave. What you're left with is a huge, promising landscape that's just empty desert.
So you might think the solution is pretty obvious, right? Just move the life-giving water from the Nile Delta over to Sinai. But there was one huge problem. A massive man-made barrier was sitting right in the middle of the path, making any simple plan totally impossible.
Yep, that barrier was the Suez Canal. And this isn't just some channel of water. We're talking about one of the most critical highways for global trade. You can't just throw a bridge over it or lay a pipe across it without bringing a huge part of the world's economy to a grinding halt. It was a colossal wall, both physically and logistically.
So that's the billion-dollar question that engineers were facing. How in the world do you get a massive amount of water from one side to the other, right underneath a constant parade of giant ships, without interrupting a single one? A problem this big needed a truly revolutionary solution. And the answer they came up with was as brilliant as it was ambitious: the Sarabium Siphon. This wasn't just another construction project. This was a record-breaking mega project designed to do something that a lot of people probably thought was impossible.
So what exactly is a siphon in this case? Well, to put it simply, it's a massive underground tunnel system. Just imagine a superhighway for water that dives deep, deep down to go under an obstacle, like the Suez Canal, and then comes right back up on the other side.
And when I say deep, I really mean it. To make sure these tunnels were safely out of the way of the canal bed and any future digging, they had to be built 60 meters straight down. That's like taking a 20-story building and laying it on its side, completely buried and invisible under the canal.
The sheer width of this thing is just as wild. To get all the way across, the water flows through 4 enormous tunnels running side by side. They stretch for 420 meters to get safely underneath not just the original Suez Canal, but also the new expanded channel right next to it.
And the amount of water this thing moves, it is staggering. We're talking about 1 million cubic meters of water flowing into Sinai every single day. That's not a trickle. It's a brand new man-made river, a lifeline created by pure engineering will.
Okay, so let's quickly follow the water on its incredible journey. It all starts west of the Suez Canal, where it's pulled into the siphon. Then it makes that crazy 60-meter dive underground. From there, it rushes through those massive tunnels beneath the busiest shipping lane on the planet and pops up on the eastern side, ready to completely transform the desert.
And that transformation, that's the real story here. I mean, all the concrete and steel is incredible, but what really matters is what this engineering marvel makes possible. It's about bringing a brand new life and a totally new future to the land of Sinai.
And the change is just night and day. Before this project, the story of Sinai was all about desert and people having to leave to find opportunities. Now, it's a story of farming, new investments pouring in, and communities finally putting down roots. It's like the entire economic and social dynamic of the region has been flipped on its head.
This new supply of water has just kicked off a huge wave of development. Suddenly, thousands of acres are opened for farming, which is attracting all sorts of new investment. And that in turn supports new industries, which creates jobs and fuels the growth of brand new cities like New Arish and New Rafah. It's a whole new ecosystem.
You know, when you step back, you realize the Sarabium Siphon is so much more than just a giant plumbing project. It's really a powerful symbol of a national vision, of looking ahead, and of the willpower to tackle unbelievable challenges to build a better future.
I mean, just think about what they pulled off here. The engineers had to deal with incredibly difficult soil and groundwater conditions, and they did it all without delaying a single ship in the Suez Canal. And this entire massive project, which is so important for the country's security, was done completely with local Egyptian know-how.
And because they pulled it off so spectacularly, the Sarabium Siphon is now looked at as a model for the rest of the world. It's basically a playbook showing how to tackle these massive water challenges, proving that even our most critical economic lifelines don't have to be roadblocks to development. And that really leaves us with one big, powerful question, doesn't it? This project took a forgotten desert and started turning it into a place full of life and opportunity. It really makes you wonder, if human ingenuity can solve a problem on this scale, what other challenges that we call impossible today are just waiting for the right big idea?